All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're doing a whiteboard-style breakdown of two completely different financial universes. We're going to put the flashy, adrenaline-fueled world of crypto casinos right up against the quiet, mathematical reality of the stock market. Because when you actually map out the algorithms side by side, well, you got to ask, where is your money really going? $10 billion. Just let that staggering number sink in for a second. That's the estimated amount in bets processed every single month by just one offshore crypto casino, stake.com. Actually, to put that into perspective, this single platform accounts for roughly 4% of all Bitcoin transaction volume globally. Millions of players, everyone from high rollers to teenagers placing tiny bets from their bedrooms, are just flooding into this ecosystem, totally drawn in by the allure of easy money and, zero regulations. But with all that insane volume, you really have to stop and ask, who is actually walking away with this cash? Because if you look at social media, millionaire influencers like Drake and Aiden Ross are constantly promoting these massive, extremely rare wins. However, recent class action lawsuits are pointing to a much darker reality. They allege these platforms heavily promote statistically improbable outcomes to deliberately exploit our cognitive biases. They basically make these massive jackpots look perfectly normal, which tricks your brain into thinking that a life-changing win is literally just one spin away. A veteran gambler on Reddit hit the nail on the head with this quote. A casino is not a wealth creation machine. It's a closed, mathematical system with a negative expected value. Think about it. There's no new money being generated inside a casino. Your devastating losses directly fund someone else's highlight reel payout. Not to mention the massive profit margins of the house. You aren't investing, you're literally donating to a mathematical algorithm that is custom designed to drain your wallet over time. Put these two systems side by side, and man, the contrast is absolutely stark. On one hand, online gambling relies on incredibly sophisticated algorithms tracking your bet sizes to ensure the house edge is always maintained. It is fundamentally a negative sum game for the player. On the other hand, investing in the stock market through index funds means you're buying actual, productive slices of global giants like Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft. You're participating in real economic growth, not just closing your eyes and hoping a random number generator falls in your favor. And players are starting to realize just how rigged these digital tables really are. As veteran gamblers openly discuss online, the system is fundamentally designed against you. Like one user pointed out, the AI algorithms actively track when you increase your bet denomination. In gambling, the rule is brutally simple. If you lose, you lose. The house is not going to refund a bad decision. And this ruthless math has led to horrifying real-world consequences, like teenagers gambling away $1.5 million, and platforms receiving just countless messages of utter devastation from broken players. Because the real-world cost here goes way, way beyond a single bad bet or a bruised ego. We're talking about severe addiction, completely wiped out life savings, and a subculture that proudly normalizes massive financial losses. The human toll is so severe, it's actually prompted international calls for stricter regulations and self-exclusion programs. And hey, if you or anyone you know is trapped in this cycle, please know that the math won't save you, but professional help absolutely will. You can always call 1-800-GAMBLER. But here's the wild part. There actually is a cheat code to wealth. Seriously. It just doesn't live in a crypto slot machine. It lives in the historically proven positive expected value of compound interest. This is simply the act of reinvesting your earnings at a constant rate, which exponentially increases your total money over time. I mean, sure, it's not flashy, it's not going to get millions of views on a live stream, but it is mathematically guaranteed to work if you just give it time. Okay, to see how this math actually plays out in the real world, let's look at a super realistic example using financial data from Duke University. Imagine a person earning a modest $40,000 a year. They decide to invest just 6% of their income, so that's $2,400 a year. Now we're going to apply a very conservative 7% annual return, meaning that 7% is reinvested every single year, just compounding on itself. Thanks to the absolute powerhouse that is compounded growth, after just 5 short years, that balance isn't just the $12,000 they put in. It now sits at over $14,320. The money has already started working for them, generating its own income completely independent of their daily labor. Now let that exact same math run for 15 years. You haven't changed the thing, you're still just putting away that same small amount. But those small, consistent contributions have now snowballed into over $62,000. The curve is starting to bend upward dramatically here. This is the point where your past discipline really starts paying massive dividends in the present. And after 25 years, that seems steady, honestly kind of boring habit grows to nearly $160,000. Just think about this for a second. You didn't have to rely on a single lucky spin. You didn't have to beat a casino algorithm designed to drain you. You simply let the historical upward trajectory of global business do all the heavy lifting for you. But what if we want to completely supercharge this math? Well, there's actually a legal way to shield all of this wealth from future taxes using something called a Roth IRA. This is an individual retirement account where you contribute money you've already paid taxes on. And the absolute magic here is that all of that massive compounding growth we just looked at and all of your future withdrawals in retirement are entirely tax-free. The whole shebang, totally tax-free. Let's map out the ultimate trajectory using this strategy. Say you start at age 25 and you invest just $304 a month, which, by the way, breaks down to roughly $10 a day. You put this into a broad index fund, tracking the S&P 500's historical 10% average. And we're going to let this run completely untouched until you hit retirement age at 65. Let's look at those final numbers. Over those 40 years, you will have personally put in roughly $146,000 of your own hard-earned money. That's a great savings rate, for sure. But notice how the market's compounding engine has turned that initial seed into an entirely different beast altogether. $2 million. No way around it. That is the jaw-dropping, mathematically proven reality of long-term investing. The vast majority of that $2 million is pure tax-free growth that you didn't have to work a single hour for. And this stands in absolute staggering contrast to the tragic story of the teenager who lost $1.5 million instantly trying to beat a crypto casino. One path guarantees wealth through patience, the other practically guarantees ruin through impatience. So if you're ready to step away from the digital slot machines and actually build wealth, the practical steps to achieve this are remarkably simple and totally within your reach. Step 1, open a self-managed Roth IRA with any major brokerage. Step 2, whatever you do, don't gamble on single stocks. Buy highly diversified low-fee index funds like FXAIX or VTI so you own a slice of everything. And step 3, aim to max out your annual contributions, which is currently $7,000 for 2025, and take full advantage of the absolute greatest asset you have, time. As we wrap up this explainer, you're left with a very clear mathematical choice to make with your money. Think of it this way. Every dollar you have is a worker. Are you going to send those workers to play a rigged negative-sum game that just funds an offshore casino owner's lavish lifestyle? Or are you going to put those dollars to work in the productive economy to guarantee your own multi-million-dollar future? The math doesn't lie, and the choice is entirely yours. But once you realize how easily you can make the algorithm work for you, it begs the ultimate question. What other boring mathematical secrets are hiding in plain sight, just waiting to make you wealthy?